All right, group. So these will be really, really fast. They don't take very long. So let's look at 45, 45, 90 triangles first. We looked at these in the unit circle. Now we're just going to solve for the size. So when you see the words solve, where's it at? Solve a triangle, okay? Or when it says solve the triangle, that means that you need to find all the angles and all the sides. Now, when we're dealing with 45, 45, 90 triangles and 30, 60, 90 triangles, you're pretty much already going to have the angles. You just have to find the sides. So let's start with the 45, 45, 90. If you look across from the 45-degree angles, you're going to see X. That is those are your legs of your triangle, okay? So those will always be the same for a 45, 45, 90. Across from the 90-degree angle is the hypotenuse, which measures x square root of 2. So you can see, once you have one of the legs of the triangle, you can automatically find the hypotenuse because you're just going to put it in front of the square root of 2. So if we look at example 1, we have one leg, which is 8. What does that mean the other leg is? 8. Okay, so then here, our hypotenuse is x square root of 2. Well, in this case, what is x? X is 8. Okay, so it's going to be 8 square root of 2. Does that make sense? Tracking on that? Are you okay? Okay. Example 2 is a little bit different because we don't have the legs in this case. In this case, we have the hypotenuse. Okay, so we know that these are going to be x, and this is going to be x squared root of 2 based on our original. We okay on that? Okay. So, if I need to solve for x, I can take 10 and set it equal to x square root of 2. All right, guys, let's stay focused. All right, I can take 10 and set it equal to x square root of 2. If I want to get x by itself, what would I do? Divide it? Yeah. Okay. Divide by the square root of 2. If it was like 2x over here, you just divide by 2, right? So same thing. Divide by square root of 2. So those guys will cancel. We have x left over here, and we have 10 over the square root of 2 on that side. That is an okay answer, but we need to rationalize the denominator. Okay? When we do that, okay, we multiply by whatever is in the denominator, we multiply that to the top and to the bottom. Whatever is down here, multiply it to the top and the bottom. So on the top, we have 10 radical 2. What do we have on the bottom? Thought I heard it. 2. Okay? 2. If you remember, it's been a while, we talked about this, there's a quick trick. On the bottom, whatever is in the radical stays there, but you lose the radical sign. Okay. The reason for that is if you do radical 2 times radical 2, you get radical 4. Square root of 4 is just 2. So it's just kind of a quick trick. You don't have to do that whole process. You can just write it down. Okay? And then last, we just have to simplify that. 10 over 2 is 5. So we have 5 radical 2 equals x. Okay, so the legs of our triangle are 5 radical 2. Okay, any questions for me? Yes.
Can you go down for one more?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it looks like. Emmett?
So if it's like 10, or if there's any number that can get cut it in half, will it just be that half of the radical 2 as an answer? Or no?
have 12. You know what? It might be. I never even thought about it. I don't know why I never thought about it like that. So let's try it. So if I had, let's say I had 12. Yeah. It will be. Yep. Good point. It will be. Okay. Now, let's do it. We're going to do some word problems. We'll do 2 word problems today, but tomorrow's going to be mostly our word problem day. Okay? Example 3. An architect is planning a new town square. The square has sides that are 20 feet long. A walkway will also cut diagonally through the square. Okay, so if it is 20 on the sides, then you have that diagonal in the middle. So what I want you to look at here is I can form a triangle with that diagonal in 2 of the sides. You tracking? Okay, so if I redraw that triangle, I have 20, 20, and then I have the diagonal. Okay, and we're trying to solve for the diagonal. To do that, we need a 45, 45, 90 triangle, or a 36, 90, but we're talking about 45. So if we look, we have 90 degrees. What do you know about all the angles of a square? They're 90, but what if I cut it in half? It's 45, right? So I'm going to cut these angles in half with my diagonal. So now I have a 45, 45, 90. Okay, these are my legs, meaning they're my x value. What is my diagonal? X times square root of 2. So what's my diagonal going to be? 20 square root of 2. Okay. Now in this case, we want to get it. We want to round. When we're working with actual problems, we want to like multiply in our calculator and get a number. It's okay if it's in decimal. Oops. Okay, 28.3 feet. Okay, what questions do we have about 45, 45, 90? All right, let's do 30, 60, 90s. Oops. Okay, you'll notice the 30, 60, 90 example up here in the top right-hand corner. Okay, that's just like our 45, 45, 90s. But now, all the sides are different. Across from 30 degrees, that is your x. Okay, you're always going to solve for x if you're not given x. And then across from 60 is our other leg, which is x square root of 3. And then across from our 90-degree angles, we have 2x for our hypotenuse. Okay, so if we look at example 4, which side are we given? Like x, 2x, x square root of 3, x. Right? Because it's across from the 30-degree angle. So we know x is 8. What side is b? 2x. Because it's across from 90. So we're going to do 2 times 8, which is 16. So you're just matching up the sides. That's all you're doing here. Okay, a is obviously x square root of 3. What's x again? 8. So it'll be 8 square root. Okay, questions on example 4? Okay, example 5. Which side are we given? X, right? Because here's our 30 degrees straight across from it. Do you pass? Oh, you got one. You're good. Okay. All right, so we have X. Okay. Which side is B? X square root of 3, because it's across from 60 degrees. Okay, that means W is 2x. It's across from 90. Okay, from here, since we already have x, we can just plug these in. So now I'll have 2 times 5 square root of 3. Okay, when I multiply that, do I multiply the 2 to the 5 and the square root of 3? Or just the 5? Just the 5. So you multiply numbers that are alike. Since they're both regular, you multiply those together. This one has a square root. You can't do that. Okay? So 2 times 5 is 10. So we get 10 square root of 3. Okay, V is a little bit more work. Not too bad though. Okay, so V is x square root of 3. So let's go ahead and plug in our 5 square root of 3 for x. Okay, so x in this case is our 5 square root of 3. Now in this case, what am I multiplying together here? My square roots. So I'll have square root of 9. But what is the square root of 9? 3. So we'll have 5 times 3, which is 50. Okay, so it's a lot of just matching up sides and simplifying. Okay, one more note question. All right, we have an equilateral triangle. What's an equilateral triangle? Say it louder. Somebody say it louder. All sides are equal. Okay? If all sides are equal, what does that tell you about your angles? All angles are equal as well. Okay? It's also equal angular. So, it says here one of the sides is 10. That means all of them are 10. Okay? So if all of the angles are equal, how am I going to find what the angles measure to? 60 all the way around. Because if we take 180, which is what a triangle adds up to, and divide it by 3 angles, 1, 2, 3, each of them would be 60. Okay, it says find the length of the altitude of the triangle. What is an altitude of a triangle? Jordan?
View from its like baseline.
Uh-huh.
The height.
The height, yes, right here. Okay, that is the altitude of the triangle. Okay, so let me go ahead and just cut off one of those triangles. If I take, grab my highlighter. So if I take this triangle, okay, I cut it off, I move it over, I still have my 60-degree angle here and my 90-degree angle. My hypotenuse is 10. What's this measurement down here? 5. Okay, because the altitude cuts that base in half. So that would make that 5. Now, here, I cut my 60-degree in half, meaning this is 30 degrees now. I can easily find my altitude. Because I 30, 60, 90. So, 5 is x in this case. How do I know that 5 is x? It's across from the 30 degrees. Good. Okay. 10 is my 2x. Okay. That means this one's x square root of 3 because it's across from 6. So what's the measure of my altitude? 5 square root of 3.